It wouldn't be Thanksgiving if we weren't thankful. So today I'm discussing 5 housing market dynamics that I am thankful for in 2025.
I keep it real, I keep it real, I keep it real, just keep it real.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Sam Hartman, as always, keeping it real estate here with you in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. It is my favorite holiday. It's all of the food and family time of Christmas, but without any of the expectations of present giving and present receiving. To be honest, I am horrible at giving presents. I'm horrible at receiving presents. So to me, Thanksgiving is what it's all about in terms of holiday celebrations. And today, I want to discuss, from my perspective, 5 housing market dynamics that I am really grateful for in the housing market today. So with that, let's start at number 5. Number 5 is mortgage spreads. Now, there is a lot of talk throughout the year about interest rates. There's a lot of talk about what the Federal Reserve is going to do in terms of their policy of cutting interest rates. But the biggest game changer this year in terms of the stability and consistency in mortgage rates has been the spread between the 10-year Treasury yield and the 30-year fixed mortgage rate. Now, typically, on average, across the history of mortgage rates, there is about a 1.7% spread and difference between the 10-year Treasury yield and where the 30-year fixed rate mortgage is. Now, back to 2023, we saw this spread widen to as high as 3%, but today they've been compressing with more stability, with less uncertainty. The mortgage market has been decreasing the spread closer to that 1.7% average, and we're close to about 2% difference right now. So what does that mean? The more we've compressed this spread, the closer we've gotten to 6% interest rates. And if we were at normal spreads today, we would be close to being in the 5% interest rate environment. The key takeaway on this is the tighter the spread between the 10-year Treasury yield and the 30-year fixed mortgage rate, the more consistency, the more stability, the less volatility that the markets see when it comes to the interest rate environment. And that is good for consumers. It's good for buyers to be able to count on and predict about a range of interest rate environment that they'll be buying in. It allows them to better budget for their next home. It allows them to better plan. So consistency, lower volatility, that is a great thing to have in the 2025 market going into 2026. Number 4 is inventory. Inventory is on the rise. In fact, this year, Fort Wayne, Indiana actually reached inventory levels that mirror the 2018 and 2019 market. Now, 2018 and 19, those were the last years we would have considered a more normal market before the pandemic housing boom. So the fact that we are getting inventory back to the pre-pandemic levels shows a balancing of the market, shows more balance between buyer demand and sellers willing to sell. It shows that we're returning to a state of a more healthy market. So the fact that inventory has been increasing might not be great news to a seller because you always want to sell with less competition, but in a state of the health of our market as a whole, this is a positive trend. Number 3, and it kind of coincides with the rise in inventory, is the rise in days on market. Days on market this year is up by about 46%. Now, the market's still moving, but days on market is expanding. It's taking longer to sell homes. And again, sellers might not love to hear that, but it is returning to a healthier state, and it's giving buyers that opportunity to take a look at a home, to run the numbers on a home, to maybe come back for a second showing, kick the tires a little longer. It's allowing buyers to make more educated and more informed decisions without the high pace of the post-pandemic market and the post-pandemic boom that we saw in 2021 and 2022. So longer days on market might mean that you have to have your home listed and showed and marketed for a longer period of time. But for the buyers out there, this is great. This is a really big positive for you. It gives you a little bit more leverage in the market, and it just allows you to make a better, more informed, and educated decision. The number 2 market trend that I am so grateful for is being in the Fort Wayne, Indiana housing market. Fort Wayne, Indiana is conservative in a lot of ways, but especially in their housing market. If we look back to drastic changes in housing dynamics, like the housing crash of 2008, Fort Wayne makes a conservative response to those changes. Whereas the rest of the nation is getting home values that are depreciating during that time by 20+%, Fort Wayne only depreciated by 5% due to the housing crash. And on the reverse side, let's look at the post-pandemic housing boom, where values were skyrocketing across the nation. Fort Wayne had a more conservative range of around 16 to 18% at its peak in terms of appreciation, which was a more conservative rise versus many markets in the US. And so here we are today in 2025, and Fort Wayne is trending to appreciate by about 2% this year, which isn't a lot, but it's still a conservative response in a market where we see half the markets are actually losing values in the US and half the markets are gaining values. So I'm extremely happy to be on the side of markets that are appreciating still, but even though it is a modest appreciation, it's still a great market trend, and it's a conservative response for a conservative market like Fort Wayne. And last but not least, the number one thing I'm grateful for in the housing market in 2025 are the 30 buyers and sellers that have come to me for my advice, for my guidance, for my help in getting their home sold or finding their next home. You have no idea how much I love being in this business, and it truly all stems from the people like you that trust my expertise, that respect my character, that want to utilize me and my services to help you make such an important transition in life. I am forever grateful to my current and past clients. I will always consider you my clients and my friends, and I hope to always be the one that you'll call when you or your family need help making a real estate decision. And keep in mind, because I hear this all the time, people will tell me, Sam, we didn't want to waste your time. You will never waste my time. I hope you'll reach out with your questions, no matter of how far off a housing decision might be in your future or how far away you might think you are. I want to be your guide. I want to be your expert. So again, never hesitate to reach out. You won't waste my time. I'm here to help. So with that, thank you for everything this year, guys. I am so grateful to be in this real estate business. I am so grateful for my subscribers, for my clients, for my friends and my family that allow me to have success in this business. And happy Thanksgiving to you and your loved ones. I hope you have a very blessed and thankful day.